and welcome to day 3 of 12 days of vlogging. You know the drill. We have our Burt's Bees advent calendar going in with day 3. It says vacation mode, and today's flavor is coconut and pear. I think I've had this one before, but it was years and years ago. And yeah. Ooh. It doesn't smell like sunscreen, but it smells good, like actual coconut instead of like artificial. Even though this is artificial coconut. I don't know how to explain that to you, but it's good. And now we're ready for the day. We got our chapstick, we're ready to go. Today's plans include finishing The Abolition of Man, actually, and not just saying, oh, I'm gonna finish it, but actually finishing it. Togi's here on the couch, chewing on a bone, I think, I hope. But yeah, we're just keeping a slow Sunday. We watched church on the couch, and I may or may not have fallen asleep, but that's okay. We still got it done. All right, update. It is 3:26 p.m. It looks like it's about to snow or rain. I'm not sure what it's gonna do, but it looks disgusting outside. So we may or may not go for a WALK. I mean, this guy, you can't keep him asleep, you know? But we're getting yesterday's video exported to then be uploaded. It's taken me longer than I would like to admit to edit it because I'm editing on an iPad and it's really hard. But we're figuring things out. I also have no experience editing anything at all, so I hope these don't suck, and if they do, oh no, but that's okay. This isn't really my main thing. I'm more so into my job. So yeah, we're just getting ready for tomorrow. We're getting ready to start our cleaning and getting everything ready for tomorrow, like packing lunches, picking out clothes, making sure that the place is tidy, all the stuff you do on a Sunday. And I know I talked about this earlier today. I have yet to pick up this book, but I will as soon as I finish editing and upload yesterday's video so I can feel like I've done something productive today. It's almost done, so I'm super excited for that. But yeah, I've been to the gym and I'm jealous because he gets to work out and I don't. And I was doing really good. I had a whole plan for my half that I'm gonna, or hopefully going to be running on March something, like midway through March. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do anything, but I am cleared to walk, so hopefully I can just walk the whole thing if worse comes to worse, because I still want to do it since I've already paid money towards it. I don't want to just back out now because that is not fun. I am just really trying to fill my time with something besides just sitting and scrolling on my phone. So if I'm editing a video and getting mad at iMovie for hours and hours, so be it. I'm not mindlessly scrolling. Okay, so I'm gonna take this time to talk a little bit about my skin cancer journey, just because I feel like someone out there might get some kind of insight of, oh, maybe I needed to get this checked out, and I hope that it doesn't end up as bad as it did for me, for you. So it all started my senior year of college. I graduated in 2021. And I went to my primary care doctor for, my annual checkup, and I had noticed something on my face. It was just a small little something, and it just wouldn't go away. So I talked to my doctor, and I'm like, hey, yeah, so I thought this was ringworm because earlier in that year, I got ringworm all over my body because I lived in a basement in college, and it was kind of damp and kind of gross, but I loved it. So she's like, okay, yeah, it's still too early to see if there's anything. It looks like the beginnings of maybe ringworm, so just keep using the like antifungal cream that you use for ringworm. I'm like, okay, that makes sense because it took a while for it to go away. So then the next year comes around, we're in 2022, and I go to primary care doctor again, but it's a different one because my primary care doctor was sick. So I see the person and I was like, yeah, so I have this thing in my face. We thought it was ringworm last year and it still hasn't gone away. I'm not sure what's going on. She's like, well, it looks like the beginnings of maybe eczema or psoriasis. So here's a topical steroid. I said, okay, great. Hopefully this will just kick it out and it'll be gone because it's kind of gross now. So then I used that for another year. Flash forward to 2023. I go in for my checkup again. Same thing, except my regular doctor is out of the country. So I see someone different. And I was like, hey, so we thought this was psoriasis. We thought it was eczema. I've been using this topical steroid and nothing is touching it. If anything, it's getting bigger. She's like, well, your skin needs to get used to it, so just keep using the cream. And I'm like, okay, I have been using the cream for a year. So you would think, oh, something must be wrong because it's been over a year at this point with using a topical steroid and nothing is happening. So then I just kind of brush it off like, okay, it must be nothing then. Even though it's growing and looking worse, like I'll just keep using the cream. So around halfway through of 2024 now, it's starting to bleed a lot. Like I'm waking up with blood all over my pillow and it's a little scary. So I'm like, this is gross and not cool. And my friends are starting to be like, what's on your face? Like, that does not look good. Not in a rude way, but like, maybe you should get that checked out by a specialist. Because I would tell them like, oh, my doctor thinks it's psoriasis, but I don't know what it is. It might be I'm just not used to the steroid. And they're like, no, Caitlin, I think you need to see a dermatologist. So my husband kind of bullied me into making an appointment. I did. I sit in the chair and I'm like, oh yeah, this thing. He's like, 2 seconds looking at it. Oh yeah, that's basal cell carcinoma. I said, that's what? He's like, yeah, skin cancer. I said, oh, okay. He's like, but don't worry, it's the best skin cancer to have. I said, oh, thank God. So I've had skin cancer on my face for, 3 years now and not know any better. And I told the doctor that. He's like, yeah, it's unfortunate because sometimes primary care missed the mark because they're not specialists within, skin. Like they're there for general health. They're making sure your heart's beating, your lungs are working, your main organs are taken care of, and like your reproductive health is good too. So I was like, well, this is not cool because I wish I had known when it was, this big. Now it's like this big. So I go in and I get the surgery done and they're telling me like, you might be one of the youngest people that we've had with this kind of cancer of this size. I'm like, oh, great. I didn't know I was going to get a superlative for it. So we went in, we got the surgery done, and it was really scary because you're awake the whole time. And they had to do 2 rounds of it, which is basically, they did what's called a Mohs surgery. And what a Mohs is basically they take layers of your skin and they go and they take samples of the skin and put it under a microscope to make sure that they have all of the cancerous cells. So that took 2 rounds of like 2 different layers of skin that they took off, and then they just tested it, and I was there for about 4 hours. So after they deemed me cancer-free, they got all the layers off. They basically took a big like cotton ball and they soaked it in collagen peptides. I think they're peptides at least, but it was like liquid. And they put it on my face and they sewed it into my face so it wouldn't move and it would be constantly in contact with it. And I couldn't feel this because I was already numb from all of the stuff they were cutting away earlier that day, and they gave me a huge bandage. Like, if you think this is big, the one that I had before was like from here to here and like way out. So this is a big step up, but it's still a bit of a hindrance. I do have ear access now, which is great because I didn't before. But yeah, so I've been dealing with that, and then I went in last Tuesday to get the sewn-in part taken out, and hopefully that was when I would be released from their care, meaning that I can take care of the wound myself, and I just need to, you know, keep it covered, cotton ball, Vaseline around the outside, Band-Aid, done. I said, well, because of how big it was, because I didn't think it was that big, because, you know, it was, you know, maybe this big, but they had to take out, like, this much of skin. I won't put a picture up, even though I have a picture, because it is very, it's very gross, and it's pretty raw, but I'll show you, like, on this ear. So they basically took out this top part of my cartilage and this entire tragus area. There's no skin there anymore. It's just an open, like, wound, basically. So it's really gross, and they had to cut away a lot of it. So the surgery, again, would not recommend, but wasn't the worst. I wouldn't recommend if you don't have to. Make that clear. If you don't have skin cancer, you shouldn't need a Mohs surgery. So I hope this helps someone out there have it be their sign to go get their skin checked, because even at 25 and 26 years old, you can get skin cancer, and it can really put a halt on your life. I wish I would have known this sooner than later, because it has grown significantly since the initial beginnings of it, I guess. God bless you. So this is your sign to go get your skin checked and to see a specialist for something that you're concerned about, because your primary care might not know, because that's not what they specialize in. They specialize in keeping you healthy with, like, your main organs, like your heart and your lungs and all that stuff. But see a skin specialist if you're worried about your skin.